Hello everybody, Gannon here, and this is probably the first time you're seeing me in kind of like more of a professional format when it comes to showing my actual face. If you've been subscribed for a long time, you've probably seen what I look like on one of my live streams, my garbage live streams that I do. But anyways, I've been saving up for a while for this really nice camera, and I'm really excited to be showing more of me. I'm going to be making a lot more different content, some vlogs and stuff, so if you guys kind of are looking forward to that, I guess, you know, look forward to it. Because we're going to be doing a lot more different things on the channel. To be honest, I am getting kind of bored with the repetitive, like, anime content that I just keep on spilling out. That's totally going to stay on the channel because this is more of like a lifestyle channel, like just my channel, and cartoons, entertainment, and like anime is a big part of my life, so I'm always going to be covering that. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to test this out for today. We have a really cool discussion for you guys between me and my friends King and Glam. They are members of my Discord, some very awesome longtime friends that I talk to about all forms of fiction. So if you guys would be interested in talking to me or Glam or King or really anybody else about these topics, please go to my Discord link in the description. There's a lot of people who go there, and we get into chat rooms and we just talk about all things kind of like geeky. It's just a really good time. So if that's something you might be interested in and if you'd like to speak to me outside of the YouTube platform, please go there. And with that, guys, let's get into the video. But wait, oh no, I think I'm having a flashback.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag, rule their red, white, and blue. And when the band plays hail to the chief, they point the cannon at you. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no senator song. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. Some folks are born silver spoon in hand. Lord, don't they help themselves?
This is it. Live or die.
Alrighty, so you guys know what the discussion is. Today we're going to be talking about characters that have shown up throughout the One Piece series that are kind of forgotten, that could totally still be relevant coming the final end war that's been prophesized throughout the series. So we're going to be talking about their motives, their character, why they would still be relevant. So who wants to go first?
Glam can go first if he wants.
Glam? Alright, Glam's gonna go first, I think.
Man. Oh, God, dude. Okay, well, this one's, like, really obvious because so many people fucking talk about it. Even though, like, I'm on the fence with this, but I'm gonna use it anyway just because it's really the only one I can think of.
You know I've never liked this idea. Just
no.
because this character is the bane of my existence. As a person who, like, talks about One Piece, like, all the people who go and have just recently watched the series, and even the long-term fans just won't stop fucking wanking this particular character. Yeah. Even though I think he's a little bit overbaked. But go ahead and tell him.
The man himself, the one and only, the legend, God Enel.
I think Enel. Who is that? Yeah, I only know Enel. I don't know what the fuck Enel is.
Yeah, that's my dubby ass weeb knowledge that I have.
Wait. Is Enel what they called it in the dub?
Yep.
Okay, well then, actually, I kind of retract that statement. I did originally call him Enel because I always watched the dub as a kid. But yeah. Anyways, continue. Sorry for anything.
Yeah. So if I trigger anybody that says that likes saying Enel, I'm sorry. I'm a dub man. I say Enel. Too bad. The dude. This is really just based off of his cover story shit where he's on the moon, and we find out that the Shandians, whatever the fuck race he is, it's like the Backins, I think they're called.
It's the Shandians, Burkins, I think
and
the
Skypians.
Yeah.
All descend from the moon. And there's this automaton army up there, and then there's apparently more automatons that come from the scientists down on the Earth. Whatever. Apparently, it's going to have some significance, a lot of people think, to the Void Century in some way, that the ancient civilization either A, comes from the moon, or celestial dragons come from... Who knows what the fuck this space people shit is, especially with him fighting these space pirates. one of which looked like a dog.
It was like
what
a
I recall
seal.
from that. Yeah, it was like some dumb shit. Either way, the main point is that if Eneru shows up in the Final War, regardless of the fact that he was a pre-time skip villain, a pre-gear villain that Luffy beat, if he shows up again in the New World, he's going to be powerful. Especially given the fact that Oda said that if he had a bounty, he'd be 500 million, I should say, not billion, in the Grand Line. That's equivalent
like,
to what Luffy and Law were at the end of Dressrosa.
That's also equivalent to Ace's bounty. He was like 550, right?
Yeah,
I think
something like that.
One thing
It's 500.
Yeah.
I think
whatever.
it was 550, but whatever. Something that is really important to state is that I can't really, for most of my One Piece like experience, I've been an anime watcher, and probably the last 200, maybe like 200, 150 chapters is where I've actually been reading the manga week by week. So like, it's really important because I don't really remember a time where there was something that was elaborated on in a cover story. Maybe it's because I don't really like have seen all the cover stories throughout the series that has like needs to be reestablished in the main story. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Enel comes back, they're going to need to reestablish like some foundation for his moon trip. We can't just like throw him right the fuck back in there and just like, well, there was a cover story, you should have fucking read it.
Again, it's like he's really the only logical person I can see coming back that's been sort of thrown to the wayside because everybody else is either in the East Blue that's like way too obscure for me to think of.
He's very much alive, and he can just come down from space, I guess, and go wherever the fuck he wants. He has a flying machine. There's
the issue that his Devil Fruit is one of the most powerful we've seen in the verse, even up until post-time skip. Like, it's insane how strong his Devil Fruit is.
Enel himself said it was like up there in like the god tier class or something like
it's like
the couple
bare minimum. We saw it, and given certain weather conditions, he's in the island, potentially multi-island like abilities for like destruction.
It seems like he's able to expend ridiculous. Energy effortless. Really.
Yeah, when he makes like Rygos with the Arc Maxim, he just fucking makes it. Yeah. Like, there's no effort. He's just fine. And the dude's, it's, oh my god, dude.
Another thing that's really important at Glam, if you remember, is not only that, but he's low-key a fucking metal bender. Like, he is able he's able to electrify metal and heat it up to a temperature where he's able to control it. So
we're not sure if that's just specifically gold or not.
Here's the thing: if it's just gold, he's got, for one thing, the lightning fruit, and then he's also got the Gol no Mi, you know, the non-canon from
he's fucking
One Piece
Guild Tesoro, dude. It's
he's literally Guild Tesoro. He could easily do everything that Guild Tesoro can do, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Not to mention that he has one of the highest observation Akis we've seen in the verse.
See, here's the thing,
like,
though.
It's ridiculous.
If he were to be brought back, I don't think that would be elaborated on again, because it's like that was a very transitional time in One Piece where Oda was starting to like preview hockey, and I think he had a totally different idea for what it was then. For what it's.
I mean, he was straight up smiting people, dude. Like, he was God in that arc.
Yeah, it seems like he had almost ridiculous, and I just don't think he's gonna have that again.
I think bare minimum portrayed to be like he had like island level range for his observation hockey. Like, he was up there with like guys like Rayleigh, who was revealed to have island level observation hockey when he told Luffy how many animals he couldn't beat on Ruskaina. We've seen guys like Fujitoro who could potentially have observation hockey range into like space, where he's able to like pinpoint meteorites and bring them down onto the Earth. Like, Eneru's observation hockey is nuts compared to a lot of people we've seen. Yeah. So he himself would be a threat in the arc. Not sure which side he'd pick. He'd probably just come down and be like, "Oh, I'm God. I'll kick all these people's asses," and then maybe have an admiral come in and no diff him.
Yeah,
probably Kizaru, because that'd be Kizaru's style. But other than if he does manage to do anything of worth, he might, I don't know, blow up Marie-Joie with a Rygo, but maybe that's it. Like, it's so odd to say like where a character like him can come back and how much impact they'll have based on the little that we know of his backstory, I should say.
Glam. I envision him, they're just fighting in the final war, right? Everything's going fucking crazy. Then just randomly out of the sky, the Arc Maxim just totally comes down, bursting with speed, explodes. There's a giant fucking explosion, and then a god wave of lightning comes down. Eneru just appears. Enel just appears. And he's just like, I'm back from the moon, bitches! And he's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Here's my robot army.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. The only problem I see with him re-showing up is what are his motives going to be? Like, there is no way he's going to help fucking Luffy. He has no interest in what the world government does.
He shouldn't really care about the world beneath the White Sea at all.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen Skypiea, but from what I remember, Eneru didn't give a fuck about the quote-unquote Blue Sea
Saw
world.
them as
He
scum.
cared about his Verth. He cared about his Verth, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only thing that mattered to him. So I don't think he even is going to leave the moon, to be perfectly honest.
Here's the thing. It would be interesting to see him show up again, but I don't think he's going to do anything super significant. And then I also don't see any, like, post-time skip, like, war motives.
No.
So anything else you would like to bring up about Enel before we move on to King?
I mean, other than the fact that, well, no, not really. I think I've said as much as I can.
It's your turn, buddy.
Yep. Well, I didn't have much time to prepare for this, and the character that I picked is Gin from the Baratie arc.
Damn.
It's okay. He's the only character that I feel has fallen by the wayside and probably would return in some capacity. I don't think it would be a huge role that he will play in the final war. He might control
He's the new ruler of the East Blue, guys. Come on.
Yeah. One
Still,
shots are long.
He might be dead, but
yeah, Loki might be dead. I don't really care either way if he's alive or dead. I couldn't give a shit. But if he comes back and he takes control of one of Luffy's divisions and fights one of the vice admirals, I think that'd be a pretty cool fight to see a few highlights of. And
Gin is a fucking Grand Fleet member, bro. It's God.
Yep. I can't see much of a role. Maybe Don Krieg is there, but who gives a fuck about him?
Don Krieg is. I hope he's retired at this point. I mean, Don Krieg was a cool arc, like not really like a mini arc villain, but I really enjoyed him. But he's just not going to be useful.
For some reason, he has this weird like cult following. Like people love Don Krieg for some reason.
I think he's painful.
He was kind of dope. I mean, for when you think
all he had was
it,
weapons, dude.
Yeah, but
it's
here's
like,
the thing: like the weapons that he showed, like you would think, like some of these things wouldn't be capable of
exist.
It was like the first time that we got an example of real technology in the series. I think that's why people are really interested by him.
Here's my exploding spear that does
the exploding
jack
spear was
shit.
pretty. That was pretty dope, though. Like, don't sleep on the exploding spear.
Dude.
All right, so why would Gin show up in the final war?
Look, there isn't much to go on, but I guess because Sanji and Gin became friends in Baratie and Sanji fed him when he was about to die.
Yeah, like if Luffy gets pulled in the final war, he's going to be gathering allies like crazy, and like
there isn't much,
so many people are up for grabs. Like it's,
I think
like you can see people like the Giants or like Katakuri or Crocodile showing up, and it's like the dudes from the East Blue are like so far away from where this conflict would be happening, like. And they're so weak compared to everybody else. It's like, I mean,
Gin maybe could show up and like put together a pirate, like a fodder pirate crew, and just show up and like join the Grand Fleet in like the little fodder war down. Like, because there are going to be a lot of fodder character Marines and fodder pirates, I imagine, at the end.
Yeah, and the fodder, and Luffy's going to want some high quality fodder.
Yeah,
because quality of fodder does
Gin
matter.
does fit that role perfectly.
Yes, he does.
Gin was strong. And he wasn't even, we don't have a specific age, but he probably wasn't that old. He had a lot of potential.
He looked to be in his 40s or 30s, if I recall.
I'll put down 30s.
Like that.
I'll put down 30s, which you still have some room to grow then. So it's possible. He had the, like the demon man fighting style, or whatever it's called.
He was called, like, the cool-headed, cold-hearted demon. Or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man demon tactics.
He seemed like he was actually legitimately stronger than Sanji.
Yes.
When they fought. Yeah,
at certain points.
Sanji had trouble with Pearl. Gin fucked up Pearl in like one shot.
One shot
and then it was weird because Sanji proceeded to fight him like evenly at certain points. And, half that whole fight shit didn't make sense.
Gin just like kind of swept him. Like, honestly.
I still remember that one moment where Sanji kicks his head into the fucking like Baratier's wooden hull, and it like gives him a like low key concussion. I loved that moment in that arc.
Alrighty. Anything else you'd like to say about Geen? I don't think we really have
Yeah.
much else to include.
I mean, there was a video recently that someone posted, like, Geen's gonna come back and he's gonna have an ancient Zoan devil fruit, dude. He's gonna be on Kaido's crew or some shit.
What in the
Yeah.
flying fuck?
Oh, well, that's
I-
gone too far. That's
What
gone
in
too
the
far.
fuck?
I saw this somewhere on some other channel, dude. It was like, okay. I was like, oh, all right.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay, so, my character, and I think probably mine's better than both of yours. Loki,
Okay,
like, I just,
okay,
like,
okay.
Well,
Who is this?
he's like obviously supposed to come back.
no,
Like,
no,
you
not
guys.
obviously, I'm just,
I would say
I
so.
don't agree, so,
Nah.
I'm gonna talk about Magellan, because I think Magellan is just way more insane than we give him
There's
credit
no
for.
way he's not coming back, dude.
Dude, he's like
Magellan,
depressed,
I didn't
stuck.
even
He's a vice warden. He's a vice warden, dude.
God.
Why would he come? Listen, why would he leave Impel down? Okay, this is why it's like kind of.
Well,
an
government's gonna
inference.
pull out all the stops, dude. We're
Exactly.
gonna get everybody.
That may be
It's a-
true, but I don't think it's obvious that he's gonna come back. And also, people kind of forgot about Magellan and how much of a fucking insane character he is. He has such mastery over his devil fruit, and if it wasn't for like the plot armor of the Impel Down arc, the incredible amount of plot armor for the main characters, Magellan would just be amazing.
Would have steamrolled a lot of
He
people
is
there.
able to control and produce various different types of venom that he just has full control over and can do such crazy things. He does his signature poison hydra move where he can produce like a fucking 10-headed dragon. He could basically produce whatever he wants out of poison. It's just kind of a creative imagination thing for him, but it seems like the hydras are most effective. They have really good movement. They're able to totally like wrap around each other. He's got this ability called Venom Road, which looks really badass. He like goes inside one of his hydras and just rides it like a slip and slide. It's the
That
funniest shit I've
indigestion
ever
is his
seen.
worst enemy, though, dude. Like, come on. you can't
Yeah, I
handle it.
know, but when it's time to fight, he's a serious fighter. Like, when it's time to do his job, he takes it very seriously, and I think that's very apparent in the Impel Down arc. He's
King,
never
weren't
really
you and
been
I
held back.
discussing Magellan like a couple days ago, and we talked about like how good he would be, like currently, like how much of an asset he would be to the government if he fought. Like,
Yeah.
didn't we talk
Yes,
about that?
yes, we
Yeah.
were
His
discussing
Didn't
that.
we
is
say,
so
like,
good. It's like one of the best in the
Jinbei
series.
potentially is stronger than him. You would say, like, I
Well,
think we said it
yes,
was
the
very
debate
close.
was Jinbei versus Magellan, who would win? And
And it was like
tough.
it was very close. Like, I'm a Jinbei fanboy, and I was hesitant to give Jinbei that win. Like, Magellan's insane.
Magellan
like,
is insane.
Even again, the same case with Enru. Like, even with post time skip characters, like the dude's devil fruit is so broken that it's really hard to say
Glam.
that he's not. Yeah,
Glam. I know they were unprepared and kind of being like, just dumb about it, but he waxed all of Blackbeard's crew.
yeah.
Easily.
Well, you
Very
know, there are
easily
some people we
fucking
know
waxed
that
them.
think that like Blackbeard's kind of trash for losing for that shit. But
I mean, it was... Blackbeard's not trash. I listen, watching the anime growing up, like, and just... I thought he was trash, honestly, pre-time. I felt like he didn't really have very many feats, and that's also why I just think Ace is trash, is because he lost to Blackbeard. But I'm not gonna go into that right now. You need to realize that this man could do anything with his poison. He's super ranged. Not only that, he can, like, totally coat himself in poison. Like a thick layer. How are you gonna get through that, dude?
from what we've seen, he's physically strong too. Because I believe that Luffy was like throwing like solid pillars of stone at him, and he just kind of like raised his arm and they broke, and he was fine.
He's a huge, beefy lad. All right, he can do a thin
Absolutely.
layer. He can do a thin layer of poison, but we also just need to understand that he has that one crazy ability, Venom Demon, where he summons the Kinjite.
Do we think that's awakening or not?
I think it is.
I don't think it is.
No, I don't. If it's not awakening, I can't think of what like it.
To me,
has
it
to
seems
be.
just like what like a higher degree of what he's already doing, kind of like what Doflamingo does for the birdcage and the overheat, where it's like this crazy shit he shouldn't be able to do normally, but he is.
Glam.
'Cause
I thought
unless-
about it. I thought about it this way,
Yeah.
right? Like it's just his normal kit, but it truly transcends to something insane. I think it's got to be the Awakening. Like,
I don't think it is,
because
his Dofurt's like really similar to Doflamingo's, where it's like a producer of some kind.
But here's the thing, like all the other abilities from Doflamingo, they don't have any like added like extra attributes or abilities to them. They just kind of like the chroma strings, athlete. It's like fire on the string in colored strings. Like it's not really any extra added abilities. Whereas when Magellan actually goes into his Venom Demon, he totally envelops himself. It produces this giant demon and produces a new form of venom that not only just like is gaseous, spreads, but it melts inorganic objects. It's like acidic almost. It affects inorganic objects, and if that isn't an Awakening, like if there's something better than that, then I can't really think of it.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Just turn the environment around him into poison, dude.
But that's why he's so insane, because imagine him producing this Venom Demon in the final post-war fight. He's just inside of it. He's inside of it, right? Like a thick wall
I believe
of venom.
he is inside of it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know. I'm trying to remember if it was like a stand or some kind of shit like what Hawkins can do. I think he's inside of it.
The only thing that I could really think that could defeat him in this state would be like a very powerful projectile, because you couldn't hand-to-hand fight this thing. You just have to run.
Radical beam. No.
Yeah, it would have to be a projectile. He also is able to just produce toxic gas, which is insane on its own. And then also, not to mention, I didn't mention this before, but he like used his poison to block exits in Impel Down. So he's able to produce poison, make it sort of viscous, and leave it places. So he's just able to produce like an infinite amount of poison and leave it wherever he wants. And I think that's absolutely freaking insane. And his motives in the post, like the war, just totally, he seems to be very loyal to the world government. I think he took his position very seriously. He's ashamed of himself that he's now a vice warden. I think that he's probably going to try to, get his pride back in the post-war by going all out. And I think like Enel, like Magellan, like waves of poison, lightning coming down. These are all things that we would think like would look badass in the final war. And I think Magellan is going to be a perfect fit. But with that, do we have any other comments?
Oh, wait a minute. I should have done this for my pick, but I kind of want to do this as like an honorable mention just for two other characters that I think could come back. Just because I think it was a very easy one to miss.
Yeah.
Dory and Broggy are two characters that I could...
Shit, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Those two, if they came back, I wouldn't hesitate to put them in like the top 50 if we see them again, dude. Like those two, I think are fucking insane.
I don't think
straight up, like captains of the greatest giant like pirate crew we've ever heard of, supposedly, which is from the greatest army in the world in Elbaf. Give these dudes some hockey. Let them spam some Elbaf spears with weapons that don't rust and break after one use.
Wait, Glam. When is like the Giants ever been referred to as the best army in the world? Because like Giants
Big Mom, she said it was the strongest army in the world in the whole kick
Well, Big Mom's a dumb broad. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, I'm sorry, that's not true. The Giants have like almost 0 feats in the series. So
Elbaf Spear is a pretty good one.
Yeah, Big Mom could spam the Elbaf Spear, so that proves that like outsiders who aren't Giants could use it. Second, Dory and Broggy were like old for Giants. They were like above middle age, definitely.
Yeah.
And then another thing, I think that's very realistic. Dory and Broggy will probably come back if there is an Elbaf arc. I personally don't think there's going to be a very big Elbaf arc in One Piece. If they go to Elbaf, I don't think it's going to be like a whole Shubland. But if they do go to Elbaf, obviously they're going
Oimo and Kashi are guaranteed, I would say, because they are supposed to be there.
Yeah, and then
waiting for Usopp to show up.
Harudine. He's got the new like pirates. He's got the new giant pirates together.
Yep.
So they're going to assemble, and they are 100% going to be in the final war. Like, come on, he's part of the Grand Fleet.
I mean, the other honorable mention I want to bring up was Laboon, but like.
Okay, Laboon is not getting on the other fucking line.
I'm just saying, man. Possible.
Dude,
gotta
wait.
consider these guys.
There's that theory where Reverse Mountain is gonna like explode or something.
And the red line's gonna break, and like that's how the all blue is made. That kind of shit.
Yeah, dude. What if it does break and Laboon comes through the fucking hole?
Fight San Juan Wolf from the Blackbeard Pirates, straight up,
dude. Fight San Juan, dude.
Yeah.
I feel. Listen, people are gonna be in the concert gonna be like, "That's fucking so retarded."
Dude,
But,
I've wanted that for so long.
Dude,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
This is like some high level crazy shit that would happen in a final war like this.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Laboon's no joke, dude. Like straight up, I think he's the biggest character we've seen in the series.
Dude,
I think he's bigger than San Juan Wolf.
Dude, Laboon versus San Juan Wolf. I'd pay money to see that. I'd pay money to see that.
Main event match, dude.
Hell
right
yeah.
there.
Hell yeah.
Pay-per-view.
Alrighty, so I guess we stated the honorable mentions and we stated all the characters we would like to see in the post-time skip War of Wars. So thank you so much, Glam and King, for being in another one of my discussion videos. Please, guys, leave a like and subscribe, since YouTube is fucking copyright striking my channel. You might not, be able to see these videos for too much longer, because I'm totally getting fucking raped by YouTube right now. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to see you in the next one.
I love the way you pop your top and how you lose your cool and how you look at me too, say why? Ain't no fighting, no I can't stop it. This the goodbye. For the way you pump your fist, how you bust your hip for my affection, tryna be down.